Today I'm going to show you how to wind a bobbin on a white 782 sewing machine. A lot of sewing machines are very similar in the way that their bobbin winder works. So I'm going to start by taking the spool of thread and putting it on one of the pins that holds the spools on the back of the machine. Take the thread and wind it through the two thread guides and then bring it down through the thread, the bobbin winding, through the bobbin tension disc. This is the type of bobbin this machine takes. It has little holes all the way around, so bring the thread from the inside to the outside through one of the holes. Like that. Then you push the bobbin onto the bobbin winding pin all the way on so that it snaps. Then you bring this bobbin winding part and engage it. The rubber wheel should be touching the flywheel. While holding the thread end, you can slowly begin to wind the bobbin. And if you hold the thread tightly, it will twist until it actually breaks right off. After that, you can continue winding until the bobbin fills. And this bobbin winder has a bobbin winding stop so that it will automatically stop when the bobbin is full. And you can see it has stopped spinning. So now I will cut the thread. I'm just going to cut it about here. Disengage the bobbin winding part and pull the bobbin off. Now I'm going to put the bobbin into the bobbin case. So I'm holding the bobbin so the thread, the loose end of the thread, comes off the top of the bobbin and to my right. Now I'm going to lay it flat on the desk and bring the bobbin case over. I'm holding the bobbin case so that the pin is facing towards me. And you can see there's this tiny slot right in the top. I need to make sure I know where that is. So I'm taking the bobbin from laying flat, keeping the bobbin, the loose thread on the top and going to the right. I'm going to insert the bobbin into the bobbin holder and bring the thread through that little slot underneath the spring that is the tension on the bobbin and bring it all the way back until it actually slides right underneath and it clicks a little bit. Now, at this point, if you let go of the bobbin and tip it, it will actually fall right out again. However, I've found that if you fold back the little tab here, that locks the bobbin in place. Now you can hold it like this and the bobbin won't fall out. Now with this machine, I need to open this door and I need to hold the bobbin with the tab in between my pointer and my middle finger so that I can reach in underneath and put the bobbin case in. I want to make sure I'm lining up this pin at the top with the groove in the bobbin holder underneath, which is usually right at the top. Once it's in place, then I can let go of that little tab that locks the bobbin in and I can push the thread right down and close the top. Now all I need to do is thread the sewing machine and I'm ready to go. Now that we've inserted our bobbin, we're going to thread the sewing machine so that we can actually sew. I'm going to take the thread and I like to make sure that the thread is coming off of the spool to the left. which sometimes means turning the bobbin upside down. I'm going to put it on one of the pins on the back of the machine. I'm going to wind it through both of these thread guides, then go straight down and make sure the thread gets engaged between the discs on the tension. I want to make sure that the thread guide that moves up and down is at the very top of its cycle. I'm going to thread the thread through the hole in this guide. Pull it down, and there's a little thread guide right here at the bottom. I'm putting the thread to the right of this thread guide and snapping it in. Then there's one more thread guide just at the top of the needle where the needle inserts. I'm making sure that the thread gets hooked there. And now the thread needs to go into the needle from the front to the back. Threads always go from the front to the back unless the needle sits sideways, in which case the thread goes from the left to the right usually. So I'm threading the needle, making sure that the thread doesn't get tangled. And there I have my machine threaded. I want to make sure that the tail goes underneath the presser foot. And the next step is to hold the end of the tail and just take one stitch by moving the hand wheel down and up. Make sure it goes all the way to the top again. And I'm going to use my little stiletto to pull out the bobbin thread. The bobbin thread should come up when this reaches the top of its cycle again. So there's my bobbin thread. Now I want to push them both through the presser foot and to the back of the machine, and I'm ready to sew.